Have you ever felt like you are trying so hard, but nothing is changing? Maybe you started something with a lot of excitement, but after a few days you lost your motivation. Maybe you wanted to learn a new skill, improve your life, become successful, or achieve a dream. But the results were too slow, and you started thinking, maybe I am not made for this. Many people quit not because they are weak, but because they expect their journey to change overnight. They forget that every great success is built by small steps repeated every single day. The biggest difference between ordinary people and successful people is not always talent. Sometimes it is just one simple thing: consistency. My name is Ian, and this story is about a young man who discovered the hidden power of consistency and learned that small actions, repeated every day, can completely change a person's life. In a small village surrounded by mountains, there lived a young man named Leo. Leo had a big dream. He wanted to become the best woodworker in his village. He loved creating things with his hands, and whenever he saw beautiful wooden furniture, he imagined himself making something even better. But there was one problem. Leo wanted success quickly. He would work for one day and expect amazing results. He would practice for a few hours and think he should already be better than everyone else. Every morning Leo walked into his small workshop with excitement. I will become the greatest woodworker one day, he told himself. He watched other skilled workers creating beautiful tables, chairs, and decorations. Their work looked effortless. Leo felt inspired, but also confused. Why can they do this so easily? I work hard too. Why am I still behind? He wondered. One day Leo started making a beautiful wooden chair. He spent many hours working on it. But after a few mistakes he became angry. This is useless. I am not talented enough, he said. He threw his tools on the table and left his workshop. Outside the village, there was an old woodworker named Samuel. He was known as the best craftsman in the area. People traveled from far places just to see his work. Samuel noticed Leo sitting alone. He walked toward him and asked, "Why do you look so disappointed?" Leo looked down and said, "I want to become great, but I keep failing. I work hard, but I don't see any change." Samuel smiled and said, "Show me your hands." Confused, Leo showed him his hands. Samuel said, "Your hands are clean. They show that you have not spent enough time practicing." Leo felt embarrassed. "I do practice," he replied. Samuel looked at him and said, "You practice when you feel motivated, but success comes from practicing when you don't feel motivated." Those words stayed in Leo's mind. Samuel then took Leo to his workshop. Inside there were hundreds of wooden creations. Some were perfect, some were old, and some had small mistakes. Leo asked, "Did you make all of these?" Samuel smiled. "Yes, but do you know something? People only see my best work. They never see the thousands of hours I spent creating bad work before I became good." Leo listened carefully. Samuel picked up a small piece of wood and said, "Look at this tree. It does not become tall in one day. It grows little by little. Every day it becomes stronger, even when nobody notices. Your life is the same. You don't need to become perfect today. You just need to improve a little every day." Leo finally understood. The next morning he returned to his workshop, but this time he changed his approach. He stopped trying to become the best in 1 week. Instead, he made a simple promise. "Every day I will practice for 1 hour. No matter how I feel, I will show up." The first few days were difficult. Sometimes Leo felt tired. Sometimes he made mistakes. Sometimes he looked at other people's work and felt behind. But he continued. One day of practice became 1 week. 1 week became 1 month. 1 month became 1 year. Slowly, something amazing started happening. Leo's hands became more skilled. His mistakes became fewer. His confidence became stronger. People in the village started noticing his work. Leo's furniture looks different now, they said. It has improved so much. But Leo knew the truth. There was no magic moment. There was no secret shortcut. There were only thousands of small efforts that nobody saw. Years passed. Leo became one of the most respected woodworkers in the region. People came to him and asked, "What is your secret? How did you become so successful?" Many expected him to talk about talent. Many expected him to talk about luck. But Leo always gave the same answer. "My secret is simple. I never stopped." People were surprised. "That's it?" they asked. Leo smiled. "Yes, I was not the most talented person. I was not the fastest learner. But every day I took one small step forward. And small steps, when repeated long enough, create big changes." One young boy once visited Leo's workshop. The boy said, "I want to become like you, but I don't think I can. I make too many mistakes." Leo looked at him and smiled. "I made thousands of mistakes too." The boy asked, "Then how did you continue?" Leo replied, "Because I stopped focusing on how far I was from my goal. I started focusing on what I could do today." The boy asked, "But what if I don't see results?" Leo pointed at a tree outside. "When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You water it, protect it, and trust the process. Your dreams are the same. You need patience and consistency." Years later, that boy remembered Leo's words. He followed the same lesson. He practiced every day. He improved slowly. And one day he achieved his own dream. The lesson from Leo's story is simple. Most people don't fail because they cannot succeed. They fail because they stop too early. They give up during the invisible part of growth. The part where nobody claps. The part where nobody notices. The part where progress feels too slow. But remember, a small action done every day is more powerful than a big action done once. You don't need to change your entire life in one day. You need to create better habits and repeat them. If you read 1 page every day, you can finish many books in a year. If you practice one skill every day, you can become better than most people. If you take one step toward your dream every day, one day you will look back and realize how far you have come.